Bienvenidos! We're going to talk about time in Spanish, and specifically this video addresses talking about time on the clock in Spanish. When we're talking about time on the clock in Spanish, instead of talking about the word time, we use the word hour. Hispanic people talk about time to the hour in Spanish, and we refer to that as la hora. La hora. La hora means time when we're talking about time on the clock. So when you want to ask what time it is, you're going to use the word hora to ask what hour it is. ¿Qué hora es? That means what hour is it? ¿Qué hora es? And that's how we ask what time is it in Spanish. To answer it, we have two different formats we can answer it in. If it's only 1 hour, if it's 1 o'clock, we can say it's 1 hour. Es la una. Es la una. If it's more than 1 o'clock, then it's more than 1 hour. So if it's 2 o'clock, we would have to say son las dos. Son las dos. If it's only 1 o'clock, es la una. If it's any other hour other than 1 o'clock, son las, and then whatever the hour is. Dos, tres, cuatro, doce. Okay? Now, that's great if it's always 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, or 4 o'clock. But normally we have minutes that need to go into play. So, in Spanish, Hispanic people measure time and talk about time by whatever hour it's closest to. So if it's 2:15, then we're going to say it's the hour 2 and 15. ¿Qué hora es? What time is it? Son las 2:15. It's 2:15. Son las 2:15. Y means and. Quince means 15. So it's the hour, it's 2 hours and 15 minutes. Any number of minutes after 2, we can put in here up to 30. But after 2:30, what hour is the time actually closest to? At 2:31, is the hour closest to 2? No, it's closest to 3. So let's say it's 2:35 p.m. Well, we won't do p.m. yet, but it's 2:35. Son las 2. We can't do that because it's closest to 3. We have to change it. And then it's closest to 3, but we can't add minutes to 3 to get this current time. We have to take minutes away. Menos. Son las 3 menos, and it's 25 till, isn't it? Son las 3 menos 25. Okay? That's 25 till 3. But in Spanish, you could never say 2:35. You're always going to have to say it's 25 to 3. That's just the way they think about time in Spanish. So in this structure, for structuring your answers, if it's not 1 o'clock, if it's not closest to 1 o'clock, if it's any other number but 1, you're going to say son las and then the number. If it's closest to 1 o'clock, you're going to say es la una. And then you have up to 2 things you can put in. If you're taking time away to get the accurate time from the hour, you're going to say menos. If you're putting time in to add time to get the accurate hour, you're going to say y. So these are your 2 choices that you can put in this first blank. In the second blank, you're going to put the number of minutes. You can put any number 1 to 30, or just like we have the quarter of an hour, they have cuarto. So for 15, you could say cuarto. Or for 30, you could say media, which means half. Okay. So if it was 3:15, you could say son las 3. Son las 3:15. That's 3:15. If it was 2:45, you could say son las 3 menos cuarto. Okay? You can use the y or the menos, cuarto, media, or any of the numbers up to 30 to tell the accurate time. Same thing if it's 1:30. Let's say it's 12:45. If it's 12:45, what hour is it closest to? It's closest to 1 o'clock. Es la una. Are we adding or subtracting minutes to the hour to get the accurate time? We're subtracting, so we'll use menos. How many minutes? We're subtracting 15 or cuarto. $12:45 in Spanish would be es la una menos 15. Or es la una menos cuarto. Okay. Now there's one other piece to time, and that's whether you're talking about AM or PM. And in Spanish, the way to refer to that is in the morning, in the afternoon, or at night. If we're talking about a class that we have at 3:15, hopefully that's going to be 3:15 in the afternoon. We would say, and we're sitting there in our class meeting, what time is it? Oh, it's 3 in the afternoon. Son las 3:15. 3:15 in the afternoon. Son las 3:15 de la mañana. Oh no, is that afternoon? How about de la noche? No. Afternoon is de la tarde. Okay? Son las 3:15 de la tarde. That's 3:15 in the afternoon. Okay, it's the middle of the night. You wake up in the middle of the night, you can't go back to sleep. Es la una menos 15. What are we going to choose here? Is it after midnight? Yes, so it would be de la mañana or de la noche. Some people would probably say de la noche because it's the middle of the night, but it's really de la mañana, because after midnight it would be in the morning, very early in the morning. This would be 12:45 a.m. Es la 1:15 de la mañana. Now there are two other terms that we have to be familiar with in Spanish when we're talking about time on the clock. We have the words noon and midnight, and in Spanish there are similar words. The word for noon is mediodía. So if we want to say it's noon, we can say es el mediodía. And if we want to say it's midnight, we can say es la medianoche. If we keep these structures in mind when we're trying to form responses to the question, ¿qué hora es?, then we will be able to correctly express time